Hey everyone, this is Christopher Brown here again from alphalifestyleacademy.com. Now in today's video, we're going to look at how to sell and get real estate listings through social media. But before we go ahead and get started here today, just like in war, it's not the army that has the best tools, but the army that has the best strategy. That's the army that wins. Now, the same principles also apply when building a real estate business. So I'm going to share with you how we helped a real estate agent pull out $3 million from a $250,000 property. So I want to invite you to check out realestateempire.alphalifestyleacademy.com. So let's go ahead and get started with today's video, where we're going to look at how to sell and get real estate listings through social media. Now, there was a study that was done. It looked at real estate agents that were making $100,000 plus and figuring out what they were doing versus those who were not very successful, where they looked at agents that were making less than $35,000 a year. And what they found is those that were earning $100,000 plus heavily relied on social media platforms like LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. Now, obviously, Facebook is a very prominent social media site. It's been around for a very long time. However, they found that those agents that use Facebook were no more likely to be successful than those who were less successful. And one of the challenges for a lot of industries, not just real estate, is people have forgotten the social part of social media. And what I mean by that is the way that a lot of people are using social media is they use it the same way that television built their incomes. So, of course, television, you have a TV show, they sell advertising space, and so the people who come and watch their television shows, they then blast out a message to their audience, and then some of them end up buying the products and services. And so that's the same way that a lot of people are using social media. However, in order for that to work, because the response rates of social media is so minute that they have to have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of followers for them to be successful using that method. So before television, the way that families and companies built their businesses is through relationships. And so if we look at television and look at the way that social media is, and you might understand the technology of social media. However, in a lot of cases, your grandparents, or depending on your age, your great-great-grandparents are more apt at building a social media business than what you are today. And of course, like I said, you do understand the technology, but they understand how to communicate and to build those relationships. Now, if you look at TV shows back in the 1950s and 60s, like Father Knows Best, the Donna Reed Show, the Andy Griffith Show, they did business with people that they knew. So if you watch shows, again, the Andy Griffith Show, so if you wanted a haircut, you went to Floyd the Barber. If you wanted your car worked on, depending on what season it was, you went to Goober or Gomer Pyle. If you wanted a prescription, you'd go to Ellie. And so these people did business with people that they knew. They didn't just blast out a message. So you can, just as a side note, you can really learn a lot about business and marketing by watching classic television. Now, some of you may be familiar with Gary Vaynerchuk. Now, Gary took his family's wine business from a $4 million business to a $67 million business over a period of 3 years by using social media through one-on-one marketing, the same way that these companies were building their audiences and building their companies back in the 1920s, 30s, and 40s. Now, a very famous and popular technique that a lot of real estate agents are very familiar with is this technique called farming. And a lot of times it is used with direct mail, where they'll send a direct mail campaign and they'll just hammer them down and over months and even years, mail to continue mailing to this same community. Now, you can do the same thing online with social media. However, let's look at how this gentleman here, this agent here, his name is Tony Calso, and he used this farming technique, but I'll show you what he did with it, but I'll show you how you can use that same technique through social media. Now, he spent just over $50,000 mailing to a community over a period of 3 years. And during that 3 years, he made over $500,000. However, if you look here at the graph, it took him 5 months to land his first deal. Now, you might not have the capital to be able to continually market to that community, but you can do the same thing online, because on social media, especially through LinkedIn, you can target people in specific geographic locations, and LinkedIn has a lot of research tools, so you can really dive deep into who your perfect and your ideal customer is. However, we can still use this farming technique through social media and build relationships through the long term, just like the way that a lot of real estate agents have used it through direct mail. So you can do the same thing through social media. Now let's talk about a thing called backdoor marketing. Now, when you look at what a lot of companies are doing, or a lot of agents are doing on social media, they're showing the houses they have listed for sale, or getting new deals, or when they close a deal. A lot of self-promotion. And the way that social media works, first of all, we want to do something that gets ourselves to stand out beyond what everybody else is doing. So if everybody else is showing their latest real estate listings and the deals that they're closed, why would anybody want to follow you? You got to give them a bigger reason. So one of the ways that you can do this is by offering value. And you can look at value from a lot of different perspectives, but let's just take one example here. So marketing data shows that happy families buy real estate. So you could offer marriage or even parenting advice, and then they're coming for that, but now you show them that you have real estate for sale, and they'll be more likely to do business with you because you've already built that relationship with them by offering them value. And then when they are ready to do business with you, you'll be there for them. Now, something else that you could do, you could offer advice on where to find government money programs to purchase a home, how to invest into real estate to retire. And then, like I said, so after you do that for a period of time, farming these relationships through social media, through one-on-one marketing. Of course, that doesn't mean you don't blast out messages too. You still do that, but you continue to build a one-on-one relationships with people within your community. Now, what we are doing again, I want to invite you to visit realestateempire.alphalifestyleacademy.com. And what we're doing is we're putting together a copy and paste script that you can use to build your social media audience to build your real estate business. And that way you can use farming through social media. So if you want to check that out, you can find that at realestateempire.alphalifestyleacademy.com. I'll also share with you how we worked with an agent to be able to use strategies to pull out $3 million from a $250,000 property. So you made a profit of $2.5 million with that deal. So again, go ahead and visit realestateempire.alphalifestyleacademy.com for more details on that. But I had a blast recording this video for you today. Take care, everyone. Have a great day, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye-bye now.